welcome back to the brand new season of the 2021 Asian Le Mans Series. Here we are in Dubai Autodrome. I'm Zara Druitt. As yesterday was such a successful day, race day 1, we now get ready for race day 2. So, are you ready? And are you ready for 4 hours of non-stop action? Fortunately, we've got our commentators up in the commentary box. We have Graham Goodwin and Oliver Gavin up there. They're going to be able to tell us everything we need to know about this round. So guys, bring it on up to you.
Thanks very much, Zara. And good to see Bibendum in the back, all masked up as he should be.
Absolutely, yeah.
Very, as you can see, very COVID-safe environment here at the Dubai Autodrome. Welcoming again our new addition to the commentary team this year, Oliver Gavin.
Great to be here.
Absolutely. 4 hours yesterday, Ollie, where we had drama at the beginning of the race, great racing in the middle of the race, and real drama at the end of the race, and lots to wash up as we work towards the start of racing here.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was action-packed yesterday. I think it was a great event. I think it was a fantastic way to kick off the Asian Le Mans Series, and looking forward to race 2 today.
So we're going to go and have a quick look around this Dubai Autodrome, Ollie.
Yeah, and it's 16 turns here at the Dubai Autodrome. Coming down into turn 1, it's bumpy and tricky there. Into turn 1, it's slightly off camber. And you're winding your way from 2, 3, 4, 5 and into 6. That's a real area where there's a lot of traffic, and these multi-class racing, you've really got to be aware. Turn 7, the lowest point on the track, then that winds through into turn 9, which is a banked corner. You need to get a strong run off of there, up this high gradient all the way up into turn 10, which is a great place for overtaking. Bumpy in there though. Out of there and into 12, again, it's another bumpy brakes point, but it's a key place for overtaking. 14 is tricky, and again, you get this condensing of traffic there, but then you come through into the final turn on the lap, turn 16, and that's where a lot of guys have been pinged for track limits. So I'm sure that's going to be another story today.
Hello and welcome to the 2021 Asian Le Mans Series. I'm Zara Druitt with our new commentator, Oliver Gavin. Now, Ollie, tell us more about the drivers. What's the difference between AM and Pro?
Okay, so here we have the Hub Auto in the GT class of the Asian Le Mans Series, and we have Raffaele Marciello is the Pro driver, and Liam is the, say, unpro driver. But I'm not saying that he has less passion for the sport, because he really does. You know, he's won many races against his peers in GT racing around the world. So he has a huge amount of experience. But Marciello's job this weekend is to not only make himself fast, but to make Liam fast.
Wow, well, I've definitely learned something new. For more information, live and free around the world, be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms.
Hi, I'm Oliver Gavin here at the Dubai Autodrome, and we're about to go on board the number 28 car with Sean Galil. Okay, coming out onto the pit straight here at the Dubai Autodrome, over the start-finish line, coming up into 6th gear, pit lane exit on the right-hand side, coming into turn 1, heavy brake zone downhill here, trying to make your way across the track, clipping that curb on the right, and then you're using some of the curb here also on the left, all the way over that, back uphill again. These are fast sweepers, again over to the right hand side of the track, just trying to set up for this next series of corners coming down into 5 and 6, using a lot of curb. This is the lowest point on the track right here. You've got to cut back, getting all the way back over this curb on the apex, mindful of your exit, can be tricky there, and then coming through, and this is coming up to the banked corner, the most banked corner on the racetrack, making sure you've got to hit your apex late, and then using the road all the way out over the exit curb, up the longest straight on the track here, all the way up through the gears, going heavily uphill here. Now we're now trying to pick our brake point for turn 10, and heavy on the brakes here into making sure that we're getting across to that apex curb again, using all the road on the exit, but then it's a fast sweeper to the left, all the way over that curb as well if you can, using all the road, and then another very heavy brake zone up here at the top of the hill. Trying not to use too much of the curb there, and out and over that exit curb, and we're coming up through the gears again, making sure we're keeping the energy in the car, really working the track here. It's quite a tricky brake zone here, a little bit of a kink, and then you're hard into this brake zone. You want to get a late apex out of here because there's a fast couple of sweepers after this. You've got to make sure that you really work this speed into the next right-hander, then pit lane entry on the right-hand side. You're over the crest here, and then onto the brakes. Final corner coming up, over this curb on the apex, trying to keep it nice and tight, and then let the car run out all the speed out onto the main pit straight here. I hope you enjoyed the lap. stick with us for all the action this weekend at the Dubai Autodrome.
A record 36-car grid was to the start of the Asia Le Mans Series in 2021. Race 1 at Dubai Autodrome saw massive battles throughout the GT field, a record 19 GT3 cars throughout the race. The race, though, dominated until the final moments by GPX Racing's Porsche. The number 40 car, though, suffered disaster in the final moments, this spin costing the team a podium finish. Second would be the number 7 Inception Racing McLaren, Ollie Milroy bringing the car home. The win, though, would go to the number 99 Precourt Herberth Racing team from Germany, their Porsche in the hands of Ralph Byrne and twin brothers Robert and Alfred Renauer, a famous win for the German team. LMP3 too saw some great battles, with Phoenix Racing impressing on their class debut. Here in a battle with Andy Merrick in the United Autosports number 2 car is Jan-Erik Slitten. The number 3 car for United Autosports, though, with Jim Maguire, Duncan Tappy and Andrew Bentley, would complete the podium eventually. Second would go to the defending champions in the Asia Le Mans Series, the number 9 car of Tony Wells and Colin Noble. But the win, and a dominant win at that, would go to the number 23 car from United. Manuel Maldonado running the middle sector from Rory Pensland's start, and a great finish from Wayne Boyd would bring the car home in a dominant win. LMP2 as well saw some trials and tribulations in the early part of the race, left the gaps pretty large, but Phoenix Racing again with a debut, this time in LMP2, would come home in third position. After a few stumbles, Jota Sport duo of Sean Gelael and Stoffel van Dorn would come home second, but it was an absolutely dominant win for the only fault-free runner in the class, the number 26 ARA01 from G-Drive Racing, supported by double Asia Le Mans Series champions Algarve Pro Racing. They would win the first 4 hours of Dubai. Qualifying at the Dubai Autodrome at the start of the 2021 Asia Le Mans Series saw the cars out in a single qualifying session per class for the 2 races this weekend. 19 GT3 cars, a record grid in that class, and a record grid overall at 36 cars. The 93 Precourt Herberth car and the 99, the sister car, in the thick of the action would set pole position for the 99 car for Saturday's race, 93 for Sunday. LMP3 with 10 cars out on track, and immediately the CD Sport car of Adam Atiki, young French driver, was in the thick of things for the Spanish team, making their debut in Asia. 33 car up at the sharp end, until that United Autosports came into play. Duncan Tappy to the top of the times, before Wayne Boyd, the reigning European Le Mans Series champion, put his stamp on proceedings, setting pole for both races in a display of speed and consistency. P2 and 7 cars out on track. Sean Gelael in the Jota Sport car, the 28. Nicky Team, the reigning WEC GTE Pro Drivers champion, having his first run in LMP2 this weekend. He'd be third quickest. The 2 G-Drive Racing cars took control of the session. Chinese driver Yifei Ye in the 26, but young 17-year-old Argentinian Franco Colapinto in the 25. The young man would be on pole position for both Saturday and Sunday's races in his first ever run in a sports car. Fantastic result for G-Drive Racing and for Algarve Pro. Day 2 and race 2 in Dubai, and a double pole and a double 1-2 for the ARA01s of G-Drive Racing. Another double pole sitter, the 23 United Autosports LMP3 car, and that heads up again a 10-car class entry. In GT, Precourt Herberth and GPX Racing, once again, it's an all Porsche front row, and with close battles down through the rest of the field, it's an exciting racing prospect with its 36-car entry. And we're about to go racing for round 2 of the 2021 Asia Le Mans Series. Lights are red. They go out now, and we're clean and away. Colapinto with a clean start. And looking to see what Sean Gelael will do this time. He looked up the inside last time. He's holding station. Big lock up there from the RA Motorsport car. That is another change, by the way. That's young Malte Jacobsen, the Danish driver in the RLR M Sport car in LMP3. But this is neat and tidy stuff compared to the rather messy start we saw at turn 1 from 2 or 3 of the cars yesterday. Franco Colapinto is going to get the opportunity, if you can keep this clean around these early laps, to control the pace of this field.
Rene had a very strong start stint to the race yesterday. He just drove faultlessly, no mistakes, got himself set up. John just locking up a right front going into turn 1 there.
Basically extended test mode. It is number 93 car behind the 54 of Giancarlo Fisichella. Touch, I think, there with the AMG as he went by. And another touch from the rear from both the AMG on the Ferrari and then the Aston on the AMG.
Yeah, they all checked up there. It's one of those concertina effects. And yes, you're trying to avoid that at this point in the race if you can. You want to keep it clean. You want to keep the machinery as good as possible for that last hour. You can't win the race now.
Absolutely right. So it's Falb from Binder, from Trummer, from Galale, from Arjamaini, the top 5 overall. We're sticking for the moment with this very close GT battle. Axel Jeffries, head of Maxime Martin. Stefan Gehrig in the red and blue car behind is still holding third. Fisichella, trying to get on the tail of the lead pair. Needs to get past Stefan Gehrig before he gets there. Ex-Formula 1 driver versus gentleman driver. That's Gehrig in the Porsche. Fisichella flashing the lights of the Ferrari.
Be trying to use that toe to try and toe by him, but the Porsche does look strong. Even with that 20 kilos, extra 20 kilos, the Porsche still looks strong. But he's made a mistake going into turn 1, and maybe Giancarlo will be able to sneak through on the inside. He'll be on the outside then for turn 2. Oh, he didn't make it stick.
He didn't change as well, by the way, on P3. Malte Jakobsen has gone through to the lead in that 15 RLRM Sport Ligier, ahead of Rory Penton and Andrew Bentley. And good form at the moment being shown by the 63 D-Car Engineering Duquesne in 4th. That car didn't have any luck at all yesterday in the garage for a long while.
Yeah, the way that they take turn 14, it's very different. They drive very different lines there. And the Aston was just sticking his nose in, and the Porsche was lining up for its exit.
Yep.
Squabbling over the same piece of tarmac.
Back to the lead of the race. John Falb still putting in a great stint here. He's just ahead of his teammates in the 26 car, Rennie Binder. And no gap, by the way, in the top 5, over a second. Simon Trummer, Sean Galale and Arjamaini just putting in the fastest lap of this race, a 1:48.744 for the Indian driver.
Nicky Thiem is getting himself placed with Phoenix Racing. He's wanting to get that exposure in P class. I mean, he's a world champion at the moment in GT, and he's looking to get that P2 experience. And my old teammate Jan Magnussen, who in fact actually sent me a picture last night of us both competing at the 1987 karting world championships.
It's a full course yellow.
Full course yellow here.
So that's as the Aero Motorsport car goes to pit lane. There are, of course, variations in anything electronic and mechanical.
There is, and you know, all teams are trying to push it to the limit, so that they're as close to the limit as possible of the 60Ks. And it looks like we're back to green.
And away they go. The engine notes rise again. And
it's going to be those first tricky corners.
Yep.
Just getting those tyres back underneath you. Might see a few snag brakes into turn 1.
And already, inside 20 minutes, about to get into traffic for the lead cars here. John Falb got the power in and has made that. He does the little bit of the weave. That's not so much in terms of his tyre temperatures, but possibly a little bit more the psychology. He's got a bit more confidence in the car.
Well, you actually just get a feel for exactly what's underneath you. Yeah.
Another immaculately prepared car from the team based in Bolton, one of the LMP3 pioneers, won a race in the opening year of the class in 2015.
He's pressing on for sure.
Isn't he just? Enjoying his racing as well. He's a joy to chat to in the paddock. It's always great to speak to someone who's young, talented, as they say that. He goes off track. Come on, lad.
Just made a little bit of a mistake there. Just got it and pinched the apex off and just lost the rear end and just had to open the wheel. And just lost a little bit of time there. But yeah, certainly he's pressing on as hard as he can.
So his job is going to be very simple. Get to the front, move forward, give as good a gap as you possibly can to the older but less experienced drivers to come.
Yep.
I think that move's been made.
Yeah, just went off shot there. We didn't quite catch that. Maxime Martin, he didn't pit under the full course yellow, did he?
He didn't. And where is he now? He's
now leading. I know Yes, it is Maxime Martin.
WC Racing. Oh, there's a multi-car incident there. There's 4 cars involved in that.
Yep.
Now that looks to me to be...
Turn
that's
5,
Galale.
6.
That's Galale. Off to the outside, rejoining the track now. One of the Nielsen Racing cars.
I'm not sure that he's really got rolling yet.
So we've not, I'm afraid, seen exactly what happened there, but
Full
course yellow comes out now. Sean Galale was at a stop before we saw the 3rd car involved there spinning through. He'd already gone off way to the left and stopped. This is the reason why we've gone to full course yellow. Pretty clearly, the Phoenix Racing car.
G-Drive in 26 car.
Yep, in the hands of Jan-Erik Sluten, has stopped and he's unable to restart that car. There's a 63 car. This is the DKR Engineering Duqueine, the only Duqueine chassis we have in this field. So, and driver out the car.
Less speed under their belt.
As I said at the end of the show yesterday, the race yesterday, Ollie, an opportunity for the less experienced drivers to put into practice, as we go back to green flag racing, the lessons they've learned the previous day on the same track, and that's highly unusual.
Yeah, it is. It's a great chance to go away, sleep on it, reset, and come again.
45 minutes in, we go back to green flag racing after the second full course yellow of this second 4 hours of Dubai. Here at the Dubai Autodrome, round 2 of the 2021 Asian Le Mans Series. The Jota 28 car is now in 28th position and is 2 laps down. Well, that means our lead battle now is all about this young man. It is Arjun Maini. There's the gap, visual. Now let's see what he can do to actually work that gap from this point forward. 4.3 seconds across the line last time. And what impact has he made as they start lap 20? And he's half that gap. It's 2.2 seconds. We've seen Arjun involved in a couple of LMP2 efforts. Let's go down to the pits and let's find out what we've got from Phoenix Racing.
Yeah, I tried to pass a slower GT3 Ferrari, and he blocked me 3 times. And in turn 4, number 23 was behind me, hit me on the rear, and I lost the left rear tire, spun, and I crashed, and so the race is over for us.
Large slice of entry understeer there.
Yep, and we'll keep an eye to the back here, because by the time he gets to the end of this straight, we should see the battling car. There it is. There is the second place car. So basically the length of the main straight here. Through comes Sean Galale. 36 cars it was to start the second 4 hours of Dubai. Record entry with the 25 car. John Falb starting the race for G-Drive Racing. The 2 G-Drive cars side by side in good order. No lunge at the first turn this time, as we saw yesterday, but gave the Phoenix Racing number 5 Orica a chance around the outside of Sean Galale as the Aero Motorsport car locks up. Young Malte Jakobsen making rapid progress up the field. There was a contact from Ahmed Al-Hati on Alfred Renault's 99 Precut Herberth car that won the race yesterday. That's going to make it a mountain to climb. The Omani driver getting a drive through for his troubles into a full course yellow. First of them for a clash between the number 60 Ferrari and the 34 BMW that saw one of the M6s in the race out of the race, and the 60 in the hands of Johnny Larison coming down pit lane for another drive-through penalty. Al-Hati, though, is very aware that he's got challenge from behind for the GPX car. The 2 G-Drive cars for a while in line astern until the Phoenix car managed to make their way through, and then John Falb falling back into the pack. 23, winner yesterday, but has got their hands full. Rory Penttinen starting the race with this young man. Malte Jakobsen, young man from Denmark, is absolutely the pace of the field in LMP3. Phoenix Racing, the number 5 car, they've run second, they've run third, and were overtaken deeper into this race by the number 64 Racing Team India car, coming into second place, Arjun Maini, and setting lap records in that car at the moment. It's the 26 car that leads the race coming into hour 2 under pressure from the Racing Team India. back to live, and this is the 26 car with Rennie Binder, but behind him on the push, and there's purple sectors galore from both the lead cars here. 147.3 from Rennie Binder. That's his fastest lap of the race so far, but beaten by just a 10th last time around by Arjun Maini. Still 2.4 seconds. It seems to be 2.2, 2.4. Whatever you throw at this pair, that's impressive through the kind of traffic we're seeing, dropping that gap, but just looking for the opportunity, because now in traffic, it's not about closing by tenths, it's close now to the point where you can look for an opportunity. There was a better exit out of the final turn there from the G-Drive car, and traffic is going to play its part here as well. It's not going to help Arjun Maini.
Binder has dealt with the traffic well. He's kept a clear head. He's not just thrown it in there. He's trying to pick his points, be clinical with his passing.
I've been impressed by him. I've seen him race a number of times before. We saw him in an LMP2 car in Europe last year with the Inter-Europol team. Era motorsport car, now back into the lead of LMP2AM because of the issues. It's made it back to pit garage, by the way, the number 11 Ligier. But that looks to be some pretty serious trouble for the number 11. So we've lost the number 4. We saw that, the Phoenix Racing Ligier, and it's a spin. We stick with the number 18 car and spins out Dwight Merriman in the midst of making his way back up through the LMP3 order.
Just trying to find that gear and get himself going again.
Yep, and he's, I'm afraid, rather binned it. Rennie Binder.
Dear, oh dear.
Yeah, sorry, that's a terrible pun. But he's got the thing backed up, one of the stars of the race, in this car, the number 15 car. Going to go down to Zara, who's got young Malte Jakobsen after a stellar 75 minutes at the wheel of the 15 RLR car.
Yeah, it was a really good stint. I started the race from P5, and during the first lap we were in the lead already. It was quite warm out there, and we had 2 full course yellows, so the stint got quite long, but I enjoyed all of it.
Right there, that's a star of the future, and already not just has the decency to be quick, but also has the decency to look like it wasn't hard work.
Yeah, he did. Very cool.
What we have got here is DKR being slightly out of sequence for LMP3, so that will come into play later in the race. That is not RLR having thrown away that opportunity. What they've done is they've opted to keep the fast driver out.
Yeah, and with that, the only downside to their way of running the strategy is that they had Malte in during those full course yellows.
Yes.
And that would have...
That's bitten into his available time on
exactly,
it. But it's also extended the actual time he can be out there. So there's a bit of double bubble. In other words, he's out there physically for longer.
Yeah.
But they've given themselves more flexibility with their strategy by doing that. They've still got to stop twice more, and it's still going to be for 110 seconds. What RLR will be looking for is the opportunity to pit that car somewhere around the top of an hour to actually get themselves back into their kind of fuel window. These cars capable of around an hour on fuel.
Yes.
So he's gone as long as he possibly could, bearing in mind that they're using a fraction of that fuel under a full course yellow. As a late dive into the pits there for Arjun Maini.
Here's Rennie Binder again. He's still now back in the lead.
Of course, yep. So his second spell in the lead after just a few laps of the lead being in the hands of Arjun Maini, and he's about to go past Bashar Mardini. Now still in second, I think. Yes, he is still second place in LMP3. Yesterday, after the dramas for the GPX racing car, onto pit road, by the way, now the number 51 car. That's another driver change. And that car with the dual number plates, by the way, the regulation number plates, the orange back plate on the left-hand side of the bonnet of the car. And what I'd like to call the heritage number plates, the 51 in the middle, looks great. About 9 seconds from the RLR M Sport car, Bashar Mardini doing what he can to preserve as much as possible of the lead handed to him by Malte Jakobsen. But remember, the DKR car on a slightly different strategy to some of the other quick cars behind, particularly the United cars, which is going to come into play as we get deeper into this race. We're going to be going down in a moment to Zara, who's got Rennie Binder after a stint that saw him lead the race more than once, the Austrian driver down in the G-Drive Racing pits.
Yeah, it was a pretty good run for me. Same as yesterday. A beginning was a little bit more tricky for me as I was behind the 25 car. Some laps I had pretty much too much understeer in the car. It was pretty difficult to pass him. But as soon as I got past, the car was really good, and our pace also. We could box then 2 laps later than the India car because we saved a little bit of fuel. So we are ahead again, and yeah, looks pretty good. So I hope the 2 other drivers, for sure they do a good race too, and then I hope for the same result as yesterday. And yeah, pretty happy.
A podium position for them, and it looks like they've just run into a little bit of trouble here with Liam. Let's see if we can check in with the team and see what's happening with them. He's done 28 laps on that set of tyres, so he's getting close to his stint in that car.
He is indeed. 20 minutes to the top of the hour here, and as we see Axel Jeffries carrying on what's been an impressive stint for him again in the number 40 car. Remember, they've still got Julian Andlauer to go, so this is going to become a 3-4 car battle again very soon. There's going to be trouble ahead for the Hub Auto car, I'm afraid. Liam Talbot reported to the stewards for speeding in pit lane. And Liam looks like he's pitted but come back out, so that may well have been a puncture for Liam.
Yeah, it's possible. Maybe there was an incident that sent him off the track.
Yep. So Kajana pulling away from Rivera. 27 car behind, that is in the hands of Giorgio Roda, son of long-time racer Gianluca Roda. The father and son combination have raced together on occasion, but the baton of regular racing driver now firmly handed to Giorgio. And the United Autosports car that's making its way through here is doing so pretty short order. It's the number 2 car in the hands of Rob Weldon. That saw battles up and down the order, particularly in GT, which has been frenetic through these first 2 hours here. Patrick Kajala in the number 66 Rinaldi car going to the head of the LMP2AM field, but also beating up teams in the overall GT order. The number 40 car, the GPX Racing Porsche, in the hands of Axel Jeffries. Great stint from him. Number 55, the other Rinaldi car, also in the mix, and making life difficult for the best reasons possible with pace for the cars around. Lots more to see and lots more to enjoy from this 19-car GT3 field. To the front of LMP3, courtesy of an a different strategy from the RLRM Sport car, came the 63 car. 23 car, though, from United Autosports is sitting there and looming, I have to tell you. Malte Jakobsen completed his stint with a mighty lead and a mighty advantage to hand over to Bashir Mardini. RLM Sport very much still in the mix, waiting to see just exactly what the Emirati-based driver can do to preserve the advantage handed to him by the young Dane. Naveen Rao has now taken over in the number 64 car for Racing Team India, dropped down a little down the order with Matthias Kaiser holding second position at the moment, but now under pressure from the number 25 car. It's the 26 car, though, that leads the way. Ferdinand Habsburg enjoying his new task. After a conservative run yesterday, he's running at pace and running away. So a interesting strategic edge to the last hour, Ollie, in all 3 classes, actually. The great thing about this is, whilst it looks as if big gap here, small gap there,
yep,
we've got teams on different pit strategies because of those 2 full course yellows, but more to the point, different strategies about when they're playing their ace cards of let's put the really quick guy in here, and it's getting warmer.
Doing exactly what they want him to do. He's running a consistent, strong lap time, not risking anything in traffic. He's just delivering and executing exactly on what he's been told to do, which is ultimately what sports car racing is all about. And just leaving it up to Yifei to finish out the race. And they're really in the box seat.
They are indeed, and I think that's come courtesy again of a couple of niggles and travails for the cars behind him. But more to the point, by pace and consistency.
They've just done the basics well.
Yeah.
You know, Rene did a great job at the start. He didn't get flustered when he got overtaken. He stuck to his process and his plan and his strategy. And you know, Ferdinand's jumped in the car, and he could have easily got sort of wrapped up in trying to throw down the fastest lap and have the best average and just blow everybody away. But he is just doing a great job, just delivering the car.
Here's the number 3 car from LMP3. That car in the hands of Jim Maguire, coming in from 5th in LMP3.
Okay. We're still on another screen. We're managing to watch the Phoenix Racing pit stop as well, and it looks like it's going somewhat to plan. Waiting for the fuel to be done.
Keep an eye though, in case we see an orange and black missile in the fast lane of
It's just going by. It's
pits.
gone by the United car, so it's going to be right alongside. And there it goes past the Phoenix car.
Well, that is second place,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
So it was executed well by the G-Drive Racing crew.
Phoenix guys taken more fuel, or maybe the G-Drive car didn't take tyres, possibly.
Possible. Out it comes, and that car is still in the hands of Rui Pinto d'Andrada.
They
That's
could
been
have short fueled it. Good progress, and he's now, I think, only around
4 seconds. 4 seconds from Rino Mastronardi, and I'd have thought he's going to do that pretty quickly.
Yeah, but I think he's actually only about 20 seconds off the lead.
Wow.
Alan Furte.
Well, hopefully we did see Mikel pushing hard. I will add in here a bit too hard yesterday, overdriving a little, but I think that was because they'd lost a lot of ground in the first stint with Kimura-san. Did not have his best stint at the wheel of the car. The fact that we had in that stint 2 full course yellows will have reduced the damage. So the pro drivers we've still got to come, Mikkel Jensen, Tom Ledegaard, that will be a factor, no doubt about it. The 57 car. We'll talk about that young man when he gets aboard the car. And, well, we could say emerging talent. A surprise package, I think, the teenage Argentinian. We'll get to him when we see him a little later. Rear deck on that Racing Team India car looks... Maybe it was just over the curbs there, but
yeah, I think it's okay.
They do kind of bobble around a little bit.
Yep.
But we've also got Yifei Ye, another revelation from yesterday. And Yifei Ye, Chinese driver coming out of single-seaters, was given the task.
Has got a problem though on the nose.
Yeah, it's the light cover, isn't it? The nose section is awry. So we'll come to that one shortly, as I'm sure we're going to watch for that car coming in.
So the 2 car coming into the pits here. The Rob Weldon, Andy Merritt car, Johnny Loggy. Everything else that's around you, trying to work that strategy to the best possible way for the car, and looking to sort of almost going to the end of the race and working back so that they're leaving yourself in the strongest possible position to fight at the end there. That's all important.
Yep, I think one penalty we've not called is the sister car. We've been looking at the 55 car. The 66 car will be getting a drive-through penalty for constant abuse of track limits. And certainly that's been a regular part of the messages popping up.
Here are the GPX boys just going through it, working the numbers here, looking at when they need to be bringing Alan in, and whether they're going to getting him to that minimum time of 55 minutes.
And the 63 car it was that jumped into the pits. That's the DKR car. So that is with an hour and 8 minutes remaining.
They're not going to be able to make
they
that,
can't make it.
No.
They need now there to be a significant full course yellow to get through on this tank of Total fuel.
You would need to be 3 or so laps, I would have thought.
At
like
least.
That. Yeah.
But a significantly better day for the team after
Yes.
yesterday was just trauma, wasn't it?
It was.
In comes
They're well inside the window here, and they're just leaving themselves exposed to something happening.
In comes Habsburg. This will be Yifei Ye climbing aboard the car, so it's going to be Franco Colapinto confirmed in the car. Nicky Thiem, by the way, is now aboard the Phoenix Racing car. So this will be Yifei Ye, Franco Colapinto, Nicky Thiem, Narain Karthikeyan. Carl Tilley, by the way, has climbed aboard the Aero Motorsport car. Manuel Maldonado moves forward into the lead of the LMP3 standings, ahead of Lanseur. That gap is 19.51 seconds, but Her, we believe, owes us a pit stop at some point late, deep into this race. In comes one of the Garage 59 cars. Is that Kirchhoffer?
Could be, yes.
It's Alexander West. It's the other car. Van Dorn managed to get by in that fascinating bit of braking zone, and I think he did manage to get round on the outside, I think, there of the Racing Team India car. Battling down through the field in GT3. BMW versus McLaren in this particular instance, and a straight full of cars This is Marvin Kirchhofer going through to take second place in GT as these two cars try to hunt down Alan Furte, the evergreen Frenchman, leading in the GT class, having a much better day today than the dramas he suffered at the end of race 1 yesterday. Kirchhofer moving away. The 55 car in the hands of Rino Mastronardi held second for quite a while before the Aston Martin man made his way through. Here though is Furte working towards the point where he can bring the car in. He is, as we speak, from the lead of GT for Julian Andlauer to bring the car home. In LMP2, further dramas for the Jota Sports team. The presence of the bright blue rear wing on that car, evidence of problems earlier. In the LMP3 class, number 2 car, moving back into contention. United Autosports doing a fine job again. 63 car off strategy, but has been leading on and off, but will require, we believe, a splash at the end of the race. But the 23 car, again another peerless display from this squad to the lead on strategy and on course for a double win for United Autosports here in Dubai. For the overall, Carl Tilley bringing home the number 18 Era Motorsport LMP2 AM leader. And then the top 3, Nicky Thiem in the number 5 Phoenix Racing car, trying to chase down, as we get into the final hour, the talents of young Argentinian Franco Colapinto. Takes over from his Portuguese teammate, put a stellar stint in the middle part of this race. But they've got work to do to catch the number 26 car in their hands to the finish of Yi Fei, holding a penalty that will cost them 30 seconds of an over 1 minute gap. So at the moment, with final pit stops still to come in the GT class, Johnny Adam from Comledagar, that's the Oman Racing with TF97 Aston Martin, from the 57 Kessel Racing by Car Guy Ferrari. Then Julian Andlauer, we know he's done, and this is a race to the finish from Julian.
Yep.
His gap, real-time gap to the lead, is about 32 seconds. Under a minute is the gap from Yifei to Franco Colapinto, and all of a sudden, I think is unfamiliar, as off the track there goes the CD Sport car, keeps the boot in though, and pushes on regardless. So down at the moment to Zara as Manuel Maldonado with her in the United Autosports team.
Yeah, obviously feeling great after my stint right now. We were leading the class. Now the team has bots, and then the second car is just going into the lead. Obviously everyone's on different strategies. I think the full course yellow definitely played out a little bit, but I think we're looking strong. Wayne's in the car now. I'm sure he can bring it home. The pay was good around my stint, and I'm sure the team will do a very good job to see if we can bring the car home P1 again. Looking strong, and yeah, I got to say thank you to the team. Have been amazing this whole weekend. Flawless, 0 mistakes, and yeah, this is the way forward, and I'm looking forward to see where the result brings.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what occurs as we move into the 2021 season, and another very busy year for United Autosports, adding not just this Asian Le Mans Series Championship as the 77 car blends out in front of our race leader, Yifei. That is Franco Colapinto. He's held up here. This is going to give Nicky Thiem an opportunity to get with him here. He's got a gaggle of traffic. There's Thiem. He's bottled up, though, beyond a Ferrari behind. If this is going to be Colapinto in a hurry to get by the two LMP3 cars ahead.
This will give him a real test here, and how he controls himself through this traffic, how he works it.
He's done well so far. Round the outside of the LMP3 car, I think he's played a blinder here.
I think Nicky's most probably made a little bit of time here, because that whole section from 4, 5, 6, 7, if you get bottled up behind a GT car there with your P2 car, you are going to lose time, no doubt.
Nicky's dealt with the GT3 cars in short order. Will he get up the inside? He's not managed to get past the P3 cars though, but that was well done from Colapinto.
Yep.
Here's the question we can ask you.
Yes.
Does it make a blind bit of difference?
The flashing?
Yeah.
Oh, it can do, particularly at some tracks in the dark.
Yeah.
It can, when the lights are really aggressive. You know, at say places like Spa, Daytona. You know, if somebody's sitting there on the flashes and their lights are particularly aggressive, and if you've got a car that's completely open into the rear, and you're just operating off a rear view mirror, that can be really quite
Next
distracting.
question: is it fair?
I mean, there's always this thing of, okay, you want to be able to allow a driver in front that you're there and you're going to be able to pass, and then the level of the lights and how aggressive and bright they are, And you know, some teams do operate a real dim switch on either on the mirror or on the rear view camera. And I know with the Corvette, we run a dimmer system, and so that you know that the rear view camera is not really something that we rely on to look at in terms of what's coming up behind. You're using the radar in that display system.
In the meantime, slight hold up there for Nicky Thiem in the number 5 Phoenix Racing car. Another fastest lap of the race pops in. Guess for who? It's, of course, Franco Colapinto. This kid is dynamite.
He is, and but he's not really got away from Nicky, and Nicky must be just working that traffic way better.
This is going to be a swift stop.
Yeah,
Is this where it swings back again? Because we don't think, do we? Colapinto, no, he must have taken tyres. He must have taken tyres on that stop.
Yes, Colapinto did.
So fuel's still going in. They're ready to go. Remember, this is not a time stop. And he
he
stalled it.
Oh.
Got away. Not a huge disadvantage, and that will be comfortably still in third position with Narayan Karthikeyan some way back. A problem or two for that car. But a much better run, by the way, from the Racing Team India team. Let's not forget another debuting team and the first ever Indian flagged LMP team in international racing.
The sort of pound seats for...
This is the LMP3 leader about to be lapped by the LMP2 leader. That's done faultlessly. Well done, both those gentlemen. Yifei, 50 seconds to the good, by the way, ahead of the 25. 6 seconds ahead of Nicky Thiem is Franco Colapinto. Sorry, Ollie.
And if the teams, United are just letting Wayne know the lead is coming to get you, coming to come by you, that's be 1 lap less that Wayne will have to do.
Bingo. So Wayne Boyd is 1 minute and 7 seconds ahead of Jean Glorieux. The impressive run from the Deco engineering team after their disasters yesterday. Andy Merrick is a further 17 seconds back, but still under threat from Matt Bell. Any wiggle here from the last, albeit the last 3 minutes plus a lap.
Matt'll be like a dog with a bone. He won't let go of it. He's just gonna hang on to the back of that car. We need to be seeing that, really.
We do. We'll have a word at the moment and see whether or not we can see the number 2 car versus the number 8. But there you go. You're chasing a podium. What's it like to finish 4th, Ollie?
Well, it's never that nice, but of course you want to just be finishing first. That's the spot you want. And but yeah, to finish on the podium here would be fantastic, and Matt will be chasing that hard.
There's the 25 car, Franco Colapinto. I think he's broken the will of Nicky Thiem. That's now gone up to 10 seconds all of a sudden, and that has been another really good display from a very young man with a very short CV in motorsports.
It was now down to 1.5 seconds. Matt is behind Andy Merrick.
Yeah.
It's getting close.
He's pushing it. He's pushing it. So we're down into the last 2 minutes of this race. And just looking to see where... Oh, big lock up there from the G-Drive car. But
Colapinto
keeps it on track. That is Colapinto.
Yeah, I just saw him a couple of laps ago going in there, doing exactly the same.
And I think we've got 2 laps left for the leader.
Looking at that break.
Actually, the lap is on +2, I think. Through goes Colapinto, 1:47.7. Nicky Thiem's time has dropped right off 1:51. So whether that's traffic or whether or not that's okay, that's enough.
Yeah, it's got managing maybe a little issue in the car, just getting it to the finish.
But
locking up that position on the
display
podium
from them. So last 60 seconds on the clock.
Coming round, and he'll be getting with 2 laps from now.
2 laps from now, so it will be this lap plus 1 more.
Yeah,
is when we run through the clock for 4 hours plus a lap in the Asian Le Mans Series. So you've got to say that is a very good display from all concerned, and G-Drive Racing, Algar Pro Racing, David Leach, the race engineer, the 3 drivers in this car. It's been very well delivered indeed.
Textbook, really has been. Yeah, they've just absolutely nailed it. You can't. It's hard to find fault with their race, their execution. Even the pit stops, the way that the guys have worked all of that. They haven't really been pushed.
No.
Rene Binder. He was the one who sort of laid the groundwork and the foundations of all of this, and then everyone else has just either made mistakes around them, got involved in incidents and accidents, been unlucky, let's say, or they just haven't had the outright pace.
And I've been smart as well to mix this up, to give Ferdinand Habsburg the different role of pace in the middle of this race, and Yifei the conservative role, if you like, to just bring the car home and manage that gap. And they both delivered faultlessly.
But even when Ferdinand Habsburg was in the car, he wasn't really under pressure. It wasn't so like he was there, someone on his gearbox pressing him along. He was still managing that gap and wanting to go quick, but not risking the car.
Yep. So we're going to see the 26 car come around to complete this lap. This will be 124 laps under the wheels of the 26 RACE01 G-Drive Racing. Gibson engine let fly again. Remember, by the way, this is the first time in the ASIANLEMANSSERIES Series we've seen these LMP2 cars with the new tune we'll see this year, 30 kilowatts less power.
Yeah. Matt Bell's got it down to 0.6 of a second now. 0.6 of a second at LMP3 with Andy Merrick. It's going to be close.
So we're going to watch at the moment 26 up the inside, and we can have a reasonably clear run to the line here.
Yeah.
The Racing Team India car just ahead on the road, but laps down here. They learn their trade. And down the main straight.
Long shot.
And coming home to a second beautifully controlled race win.
Oh, and it's also super close between the 99, the 1 and the 7 in GT. That's going to be on that last lap, that's going to be decided.
Okay, 26 now coming through. This is the completion of the plan, and over the line, a win double for the 26 G-Drive Racing squad.
Fantastic.
Yifei brings it home.
Fantastic result for them.
From Franco Colapinto, it's 45 seconds the gap in GT. Peerless this time. That's the way it should have been. Comes home now to win. Another fault-free run from the number 26 G-Drive Aris, and them a second win in 2 days ahead of the sister car, the Phoenix Racing Orica, completing the podium. United a 1-2 with Nielsen completing the podium, a double win for the 23 and a double Porsche win, but GPX Racing bounced back to win in the second race after their misfortunes the previous day. Close battles beyond that promise real action when we get to races 3 and 4 in Abu Dhabi for the conclusion of the ASIANLEMANSSERIES Series. 36 cars again for the start of the second race in the ASIANLEMANSSERIES Series here at Dubai Autodrome. 2 races in 2 days. A much more orderly start though, with the 2 G-Drive Racing RACE01s managing to keep 1 and 2 as Phoenix Racing's Orica looked for a way past the Jota Sport car, the Era Racing car, the number 18 car locking up but keeping it on the island. Malte Jakobsen in the LMP3 car there starting a run to the front. There was great racing too throughout this race in the 19 car GT3 category, a record here, and one of the cars that would emerge towards the top of the proceedings would be the number 55 car, but it was second place by the way for the Rinaldi Racing car. After traumas yesterday at the end of the race, the locally based 40 GPX Racing car would finish this race though proudly on top. Win at home in Dubai for GP Extreme. In LMP3, it was a great run at the start of the race for the number 15 car. And also we saw as well sparks of genius from Nielsen Racing, number 9 car out of luck, but Matt Bell came home in 3rd position. Andy Merrick would bring the number 2 United Autosport car in 2nd position, but a repeat win, a second win for the number 23 car. United Autosports 1-2 here in Dubai. They will go to Abu Dhabi as clear championship leaders after another faultless display from the team from Yorkshire. In LMP2 and for the overall, it was Nicky Team that would bring home the Phoenix Racing car, trying to chase down the second of the 2 Aracira ones, but Franco Colapinto just had too much pace today for the Dane. An impressive display from the 25 crew with the car on song, but the win would go to number 26 car, another double winner here in Dubai. Excellent, faultless race from the 26 crew of drivers, the Algar Pro team that supports G-Drive Racing here in Asia for a second year running. They too will go to the second part of the season as clear championship leaders, taking their second win in succession in 2 days in Dubai. Overall winner, we spoke to Yifei Ye yesterday. Delighted to see René Binder here as the representative of the trio today. René, another faultless run from the 26 car. Tell us a little bit about the way that race went.
Yeah, pretty similar to yesterday, I have to say. I had a really good start and good first laps. And yeah, as soon as I got past John in the 25 car, I had really good pace and pushed to get a small gap. Then there were several full course yellows where the gap got a little bit smaller again and a bit unlucky with traffic, but overall everything went pretty smooth after that. No mistakes in pit stops. We got a small drive-through penalty because I think we overtook a car a bit outside. I didn't see that, but still we had a kind of gap to the 25 car, and I'm happy we brought it home again.
Fabulous job by everybody. We'll say congratulations and say goodbye for now, but well done to the 26 crew. Double win here in Dubai, and less than a week to wait until we can see whether or not they can transfer that form to Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi, just 90 minutes down the road. With COVID-19 controls in place, no podiums in Dubai, but the happy faces on the happy racers show that everybody enjoyed getting the trophies.
What an amazing 2 days it was here at Dubai, at the Dubai Autodrome. We would sincerely like to thank all of the teams, the officials, everybody, the organizers, just for making this happen. So thank you so much. And now, as we head to Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi, where we will hit the reset button and race again. So for now, stay safe, take care, and see you next week.